to repair a marriage after adultery. One of the most devastating and destructive things that can happen in a marriage is heartbreak as a result of discovered infidelity. Now that it's over, truly over, you want to try to pick up the pieces. Steps after the relationship is over. You must first ask yourself if you are serious about keeping the family together. If you don't want to be together, it's better to break up with good memories than to prolong the agony. If you both want to be together, the family can be restored over time, with patience on both sides. Determine the reasons for the infidelity. You must internally analyze your motivation, rationale, and background. Things like this don't just happen out of nowhere. What made you look on the side? Were you lonely in your family? Was that laziness in your marriage when someone or both became too satisfied and bored? Were you flattered by the attention of the person you cheated with? Why were you willing to risk everything for a connection with this person? An honest assessment of your own actions will help you avoid similar mistakes in the future. Face the situation with dignity. When the connection is discovered, don't try to justify yourself. Accept responsibility for what happened and don't try to shift some of the blame onto your spouse. Words like "if you had tried, attempted to understand me better" or anything else in the same vein will not help now. It's time to look at the root of the problem and analyze it with your spouse later. But in the first moment after discovery, the best action you can take, if you really want to save your family, is to take the blame yourself. Apologize. Sounds simple enough. But just remember that muttering "I'm sorry" will not be a good apology. Your spouse will be shocked to the core, hurt, angry, and scared. Make the apology sincere, coming from the heart, and serious right away. Ask for forgiveness and vow never to repeat such behavior again. Understand that your apology is unlikely to alleviate your partner's suffering, but the lack of such an apology will cause even more harm. Apologize often, but the apology should not be a meaningless repetition. When you confess such actions, it will take a long time for your spouse to accept the fact of your betrayal. That's the right word. Let's call things by their proper names. You have had many chances to make other decisions, but the only one you have made was to become emotionally or sexually involved with someone, and now you are dealing with the problems it caused. Your spouse will need your apology many times over the first few days, weeks, or even months, and each time should be as sincere and coming from the heart as the first. If you are serious about saving your marriage, you will have to accept the need for your spouse to hear you express your regret and remorse many times and in many different ways. Saying, "I already said I was sorry a million times. What more does he or she want from me?" Blood? Will not save your relationship. But saying, "I would give anything not to be so stupid and see how much pain I caused, injured. I'm so sorry and I know it will take you a long time to believe me that it won't happen again" will help, even if you say them for the millionth time. Answer the questions honestly. Your partner will ask you a lot of questions. Be prepared to answer them frankly, except for the sexual details of your relationship. Describing such details to your partner may leave painful memories in her memory, which is unlikely to be helpful. Be open. Don't hesitate to show phone records, texts, emails, Facebook chats and the like. Don't delete them in a hurry to shield your partner's feelings from pain. This will only increase the fear that you're not telling them something. If you haven't done so before, break off the relationship with the other person over the phone directly to your spouse. Clearly let the other person know that you are speaking in the presence of your partner, but you do not in any way feel compelled to end the relationship. It is your own choice. Emphasize your intention to keep the marriage alive. Be very clear that you do not intend to continue the relationship in the future, or, if this is not possible, if you are colleagues or relatives, be clear about the boundaries of behavior in face-to-face meetings. Take into consideration that you may experience a feeling of deep loss after you end your affair on the side. This is not a negative sign about your feelings for your partner. If your relationship lasted for some time, you may have had strong feelings for the other person, even feelings of loyalty or remorse for betrayal in ending the relationship. This would not be unusual and is part of the process of rebuilding your marriage. Your feelings are your feelings. Accept them and move on. If your feelings for the other person are strong enough and your spouse's attitude is not warm, you may feel the urge to seek comfort in the form of just talking to your former lover, mistress about what you are going through. It won't help to repair your marriage. Talk to a psychoanalyst instead to vent about what's bothering you. Allow time for recovery. If your partner isn't in the mood to forgive you immediately, you're going to have to deal with it. Experts compare the results of cheating to post-traumatic stress disorder. Your partner may experience intrusive ideas and perceptions, increased anxiety, panic attacks, loss, etc. Your spouse will need time to process the information and process all the feelings and pain you have caused. It takes time. You're not going to demand someone with a broken leg to ignore it and go water skiing with you next weekend. Likewise here. Your spouse will need time, and space, and support to get through this ordeal. Provide support and reassurance. If you have not been the most caring partner before, you will need to change your behavior. Being proactive in the relationship will be the key to rebuilding the marriage. Be prepared for frequent insults and attacks. He will often yell at you. You will need to let your partner vent all the negativity and not respond, at least not from the first moments. In any case, don't let it last longer than 2 or 3 lines at a time or turn into aggression. Understand the cause of the anger and try to deal with it with nonviolent methods. If they work, say, "I want to resolve this issue, not fight." Your words hurt me, and walk away for a while. Your partner may think he will feel better after a verbal attack, but this kind of behavior does not do either of you any good. You don't want to reinforce the idea that you will be bad forever if you want to repair the marriage. Just be patient and don't be surprised when offensive remarks come up. Try to find something positive to say if you can. For example, try to see the pain behind the words or not respond. Try to feel the reaction. Instead of putting on a show with heartfelt talk, just move closer at the dinner table. Put your hand on his or hers and ask, "How are we doing?" And point at both of you to let your partner know that you are interested and concerned about the feelings you are having today. If the answer is not so good today, just stroke your hand or try to give a light kiss on the cheek with an understanding nod and say, "Okay, let me know what you need and I'll do what I can." If the answer is okay today, then smile broadly and give a light kiss on the lips. Say yay. And suggest a date, in the form of a walk, a trip to the beach, a picnic. Think of all the romantic things you did when you first started dating. These are the things you need to start doing again, because these are the things you did in the beginning when you needed to win the object of your affection. Allow your spouse to blow off steam in the present. Giving him or her that opportunity is very important in a situation like this. Don't force sex. Don't insist on a soccer party on Super Bowl Sunday. Don't push him, her if your partner just wants to sit in the garden and meditate. Even if you're bored to death, float along for a while. Remember that you will have to live with the consequences of cheating for the rest of your life. Trust comes easy. We fall in love and give our whole heart, not wondering if our partner is worthy of such a gift. We simply trust that person with all our heart. But when trust is betrayed, rebuilding it will take time, and that process will have many comebacks. Think of trust as a magnificent, graceful vase made of crystal glass. It is a miracle that something so delicate and beautiful contains water, can be a vessel for life itself, and that it can last forever if lovingly cared for. It can be broken, as it were, if you are careless, and though you may be able to glue its pieces back together, you will always see the cracks. It may be able to stand again, hold water and be what it used to be, but it will always have prominent reminders of the rifts. These reminders can help you, if you let them. They can remind you of why the best thing is to be faithful and keep the vows you have made. Be that as it may, you may not want to rebuild the same fragile relationship. You may never return to that fragile state of total trust. Accept it. Now is the time to create a vase that may be unlike the previous one, but will be stronger, more resilient, if you make every effort to restore the relationship.